Hello, old souls, fellow empaths, seers, and psychonauts. My name is Steph. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. We are going to dive into the book of Blot. We're going to choose our muse, who will become our mirror, to dive deeper into the message that may be hidden and can reveal. But in the pre-shuffle, in the shaman's palm layout, if you want to use the timestamps, by all means do that. There's a knight kind of being here, and they are stepping forward, but it's like they're covered in leaves and also bird feathers. So there could be something in nature that you're very, very connected to, but it's in regards to empathy. Now, whether this is an empathic space or empathy for, but there's a sidebar here that I've written down, cruelty unto oneself, how we may do that, be that, unknowing, like these subtle, because there's also like a vampire here, like an old school vampire bat. And it's almost like this feeling of saying, are we being cruel to ourselves, subtly, subconsciously, doubting if there's doubt there? And this guide is stepping forward very, very silently, I want to say. There's this ultimate calm. You know me, I read the art first. There's this ultimate calm. It's like I'm right here, but there's camouflage. I'm the leaves. I am the feathers. I am your wallpaper, your carpet, your curtains, your background. And they just kind of subtly step out as this notification of protecting. But are they protecting something that we do, i.e. we, me, of course, or from ourselves externally? Are we protecting ourselves from expanding, going beyond our comfort zone? Are we inherently empathically feeling danger, even though it might be like, of course I want this, of course this would be great, and we can intellectually, so this is beyond the intellect kind of thing. So we might think something, want something, notice something, and then and this guide seems to come forward for us to clarify as an opportunity to be like, I'm right here for you to determine what it is, or to help reveal what could be draining your desire. Because even in this, I wrote down the front and back, heart and solar, and that comes in with the 3 of Wands and the Judgment of as well, of seeing the art on the card. Even though I'm seeing the back and the front, depending on my perspective, I could be looking at this person and looking behind this person. You are covered, and this is what I feel like it is. It's covered in camouflage in one way, shape, or form. And maybe we camouflage certain parts of us, apply wherever it may fit, receive or release freely by perspective of what it is that you want to create, and moving through what our subconscious or underlying things are being uncovered. Underlying things are being uncovered. This is where we want to go. Thank you. And at the bottom of the deck, we have here the Hangman. And this is where the enlightened empath or empathy, depending if you align as an identity or an attribute, a skill, but it's not all defining, right? And all variations of that spectrum are personal. Look at me, like I'm also cash, like, hey, low rider. That's funny. Okay. So let's dive deeper into this enlightened empathy that seems to be exposing some form of camouflaged cruelty. And I'm using that term in any sort of consciousness space that we might secretly sabotage, hesitate, yada, 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 or how we interact with the collective. Timestamps below. Thank you for being you, like, sharing, and subscribing. Let's go. All right, I'm just going to quickly choose our muse. Oh, I feel like that can't hold on. Might be a little bit better. Okay, let's choose our muse. Who shall be the vessel to take us deeper? Oh my goodness, how hilarious is that? Travel. Well, let us travel this experience together. Thank you. All right. Okay, travel. I hope you're doing well whenever you receive this. Always feel well to comment below what you see, sense, or feel as your insights to expand the Scrying experience, and we all become the readers, seers, oracles. Drop an emoji. I feel you, fellow introverts. I feel you. You know what show I'm seeing in my head is closer. Farther. It's the one that's all the video game players. Like there's a clown. Stop. It's like right there. I can see it. I'm watching the show in my head as I'm talking to you. Anyway, if you remember the show, please feel well to comment below. That's why we got the all mind here. So I don't have to remember everything whilst stepping into an altered state of liminality. Something about torque. Oh, for heavens. What just happened there? I'm almost ready if you are. Wherever we're going to travel to in this empathy adventure. Hopefully releasing any sort of vampiric energies of our own self. I am going to keep this personalized. But if it applies to someone or something external to you, you know what's going on. If you're ready, just about, taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of anyone here at any time. Thank you for being my muse, and may we all meet a message with meaning. Add that knock in. All right. If you'd like to take a screenshot so you can scry in your own time. Personal use only. All right, let's go. Something about a palm tree. Somebody to hear the trees talk to you. For me, the trees are like the acacia embodied in the animated realm, but this feels like I can see the leaves, like maybe what I would call, not saying defining it for all, like the trees speak. You would see shapes and symbols in the leaves coming forward, like one of those 80s, 90s pictures, like when you gaze and then the image comes through. Very akin to like off to the side here with this knight. He's very, very silent. And here's the thing. There's something attracting me to the silence that is, it's almost like a telepathic communication or a silent communication. It's like an energetic language versus a verbal language. Yeah. But I'm watching you balance. I'm watching you attempt. I'm watching you accomplish. I'm watching you achieve. But in this space here and now, I just want to note there might be a certain area that I feel like, oh, I kind of want to acknowledge and give you the cred for where you are now. And looking at the story from, point A to point B, C, D, E, F. But this energy seems to step in when I'm like sabotaging, sabotaging your credit for here and now. And maybe it's in a worry or angst of what's next. What's next? Is something else always more desirable? Is here never enough? And those are like that. It's like we travel from this stoic space to this subconscious saboteur. And I'm not saying this is what you are doing specifically, but I think we can in some way, shape, or form relate. And is that how we want to relate? It's something we can acknowledge that may happen, but this like positive interruption is coming through. And now I kind of feel like MC Hammer can't touch this. I'm seeing Ravishing Rick Rude, if you ever watched wrestling, and not like in a mocking way of it. It's just this deliciousness of being like, wherever I'm going, it's your, how do I want to say? It's the mic drop in the environment. So I wrote it down here. There's a change, like a drop in an environment. And this feels like that. There's a drop in the environment when suddenly there's a sound running, but you don't notice it until you tune into the sound or till the sound stops. And then you notice when the sound stops. It's like, oh, that's been running the whole time. What a journey to get to that moment. I feel like there's been two very clear moments here that I'm like, oh, yes. And that was one of them. Okay, let's keep going. The heart and the solar plexus here. This is where they're communicating. I also want to note there's something along the lines of different planetary kind of energies coming in. I don't know if this is, in the traditional sense of aliens and angels, but there's definitely a different planetary energy. And whatever peoples or life forms, sentience, consciousnesses are connecting in towards you. And through this, I'm being asked, that's when it's like, if there's the hum in the background and we don't notice until we turn it off. When that happens, that's the help of this planetary energy to say, this has been running the whole time off. And now I keep seeing it as a breaker, not just the item, not just the symbolic thing, the mindset, the mind thought. It's going to the breaker, like seeing of a house and turning the breaker off. Because it's like having something run and draw electricity. Can't touch this. No. There's a sailboat up here that is actually meeting a group. See this little story up here? Also very angelic and ethereal, and I think it has something to do again with this planetary. Like they could be like Pleiadians or something like that, but there is maybe a planet that there's associated with or a constellation, and I feel like that constellation is, there's a sensation here. Closest I can say is like Peter Pan leaving the house and going up to the sky towards the star. That's how I see that. You also might be astral traveling. You might even be able to utilize your empathy and or empathic abilities to travel. There could be that kind of space coming in, which is really cool to consider in that moment. My nose is getting itchy, but I feel like I'm going to put lots of paint or ink on me. Good? All right, we're good. Utilizing that energy. There's also something about the identity of it that I feel like I am releasing. Not because I'm poo-pooing it, I, you, and me, of course. Not because it's I do or don't. If you're choosing it, you're choosing it. But at least for a pocket of old souls here, it's you're understanding your empathic ability or energy to harness and utilize. But the identity of it is being released. And I dare say it's something with the potential of it, with it enlightening, because it's going to expand. So the old identity, or I want to say limitations, and I don't know if that's the right word, maybe at some point in time they'll feel limiting. Closing it off at the breaker. And it's like, oh, it's a whole new world. That type of feel. Yeah. Something about candy corn, but instead of it being orange and black, it's blue and black. There's a cave system, tunnel system here. That leads me closer to the heart space. Oh, I'm being gifted something. I'm being gifted from the heart space, heart chakra area. I'm being gifted a heart from the heart, and this is being given to the solar plexus area. I'm falling is how I'm hearing this. There's a surrendering in the solar plexus space, so whatever solar plexus energy medicine wheel might feel for you. I'm falling. Have no fear in this. It's like Alice in Wonderland going down the rabbit hole. There will be a turn, and then everything will be upright again. Again? Sure. I'll say again. But there will be that moment. You know, if the hangman here was like going down, or going down this way, I'm falling. And then there'll be a turn, and you'll be upright. This is that enlightening experience. But I kind of like at some point in time realize I'm the feather. I'm the stone that is skipped across the water, that is picked up off the beach. I am the cloud just wandering through the sky. I was going to say choo-chooing. Choo-choo. I am the breeze in the leaves, and I am the rustling and the crunch under your feet. But I become the feather. I become the feather. Maybe feathers are also very important to you, or they're I know that they can be a common symbol or a popular symbol, but I feel like you would know. You'd be like, no, this is what this means to me. There's a being here right in the center. There's like a cycloptic energy here, but the cyclop part is shared between the high heart and the mind. If I could attach the high heart space and put an eye there, but that also becomes the mind. Who are you? I think it's like a different kind of alien. Like that felt more avian. I want to say Palladians. Like that's just what I'm hearing. This is different. Okay, thank you. So regardless of who they may be, they have their hands around my head. Okay, I'm going to get in there. So there's this feeling, hands on my head. And it's showing me, if this was me, my face right here, and this is my head, this is the being. And then it's like, whoosh, and all of this comes out like this water, the earth, the sun, the sky, all of it. Whoosh. And I'm being shown, I-U-E me, you're most likely being shown in these moments. I'm back to a whole new world. This isn't in because where I'm at right now sucks, or oh there's so much fighting, or there's I can apply all these worldly things if I wanted to, of course. There might be a land that feels like home, that you travel to empathically, astrally, but empathically. And then once you can see it, it's almost like a futuristic, or for us futuristic way of like diving into a map and opening up and going, okay, let's go in farther here. And you can travel from afar. almost like kind of like Google Maps, but I'm not really sure where this map is. I'm calling it a land. I'm aware of that. I'm just going to refer to it as a landscape. I feel very calm there. And I also want to note, it's not to escape the cruelty that may be felt within, without. This is a very obscure message. So if you're still here, I want to say that you're aware of like this other world. What is that? Worlds Away. Worlds Away song by Strange. I'll link the song below. Worlds Away. That's, damn it. There's that third one. The thinker who thinks differently, and maybe it's like the thinker who feels differently, and not in a comparison to anyone else, just amongst your this preparation to think and feel outside of what has been your growth spurt, your goal, your desire. And because this curvature is like kind of right here, you're at a cusp. You can feel the change, but to move through it, the intellect might say, yes, we want this, but the body, the energy body, the emotional body, the physical body is like, danger, Will Robinson, danger. And we're like, but okay, is there? You got to go through your things. Is there? Because when you see this, when you tune into this and ask the subconscious or some form of saboteur that steps in, which has a very great role to protect, but sometimes it protects so hard, so well. And now in this moment, I'm like, oh, thank you. But we will proceed. I will proceed. I, you, we, me. We're going to proceed. And yes, it's past our current comfort zone or something. And it's okay because we're choosing it. We've been creating it. Fantastic. No idea where I'm at. All right, let's add on a few cards. And then we will head on over to the flip side if you're joining us. If you're part of the Secreteur or Super Secret Society, push. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And, oh, for heavens and hot dogs, Sister Witch and Scythe and I are going to be doing Hecate Halloween event. Creating in the name of Hecate. We're going to do a little scribe. We're going to do a little chat. You know, if you want to gather and spend an evening with us, so fun. You're more than welcome to. We would love to have you. Link is in the description box below and or the comment section if I remember. Okay. Yes. Dragonfly. There is a deeper meaning to all of this. Look at this hesitancy. Do you dip into the thinker who thinks and feels differently? It's almost like dipping into your other bloodlines, your other lineages while here. Pure. Honor your temple. This is that body field. This is that I'm falling. We're right in there with the reds and the greens. I can see it. Okay, Four of Swords in the Cave of Earth. You've been creating this, not just in contemplation, creation, but in the spirit of it's being coded or created. And remember when I turned the breaker off, the hum or the sound, it's like, oh, now I hear the silence. And there's going to be another breaker that turns on. And then like this whole world will light up. It is an expression and expansion of you. The different, thinking and feeling difference. There's no more comparison, because that is draining. That is taking. This is by design. By design. Stop the squawks. I'm not sure, like the squawking. And then last but not least, we have here fly. Be free to know you are loved. And look at all those blue butterflies. We were talking about feathers before, and all that blue up here in this conversation. It's just like this energy sails in with the winds and communicates to this group. It's actually a group of 3. What is it that I also noticed about the 3 somewhere? 33, 3 of Wands, and the 3 of Pentacles. A lot of 3s in here to a 33. Okay. Worlds away. Strange. I can't remember the rest of the band's name. Well, I want to say, in the spirit of Beetlejuice as it steps through, and I always love when it does, I myself am strange and unusual. And while that could be a reference to the collective, the people around you, and that might be a badge of honor, I, you, we, me, we wear. And I understand that. But that space of separation is protecting us in some way, shape, or form. And so there's where you are filled. I think it was in the members message, the one that just passed, what drives us. Not all the same things drive the same people, right? Whether it's money, strategy, accomplishment, numbers, whatever the case, peace, travel, not everything drives the same people, right? And here, I'm going to come back to our Muse as the mirror travel. You are traveling to strange worlds away that you are a part of creating, including this one. But when you might look to, who do you look to converse and collaborate with? It's okay when it doesn't have to be insulting when your inspiration doesn't come from your town, your village, your friends. And so you start the journey, the travel in the mind, in the body, in the energy, in the planets, in the stars, the maps. Maybe you change games. You're playing checkers and now you want to play Risk. Then you want to play video games, changing the landscape, right? Board games to video games just changes the landscape, how you interact with it. Then you go into VR and then you go out to the park. Do you see what I'm saying here? Hopefully I'm sure I'm saying it in a way that you get it, but I feel like I'm not doing it justice for how you can simplify, or you have simplified something potentially very complex. And maybe that's the spirit of this, is whatever was complex, building, working towards this, whatever was driving you before, to be filled by the strange and unusualness from the common. And so that doesn't separate us, so we look where we do belong, where strange and unusual is the common, and then you'll outgrow that too. And it all becomes very normal. And I'm just seeing it, and then it all just becomes as it is. And somehow the complexity of that becomes super simple. and you step in, you turn it on, the breaker on, other systems, places, power draws, things that drove you once before, things that were goals, whether they're accomplished or not. When you decide to not only unplug the toaster, unplug this, at some point in time, you go right to the breaker and you're like, power down. All right, I'm going to head on over to the flip side. Let's see where we travel to, because this is incredible. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain in my all like casualness. Like, just keep it here. I love you. Until next time. Bye. Get the caffies. Let's get ourselves an Easter egg card. Ooh. Reveal. Express the real you. And there's that solar plexus space coming through. Purified, ready to fly. And I do think this has something to do with astral or energy, empathic travel, enlightenment. Love it. Let's go. Let's go.